You know, the world of creative AI is moving at lightning speed. It feels like just when you get the hang of one tool, a whole new batch pops up. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at the handful of next-gen tools that are truly changing the game for creators and brands right now. What they are, how they work, and, most importantly, what it all means for you. Okay, so if you've been scrolling on social media at all lately, I bet you've seen these. Those viral images of people hugging their younger selves. They just seem to explode out of nowhere, right? Well, that's a perfect example of how these new AI tools aren't just technical updates. They're actually powerful enough to create real, genuine cultural moments. So what's the engine behind that whole trend? It's a Google tool called Nano Banana. But as cool as it is, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. We're about to dive into this massive new wave of creative AI that it represents. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to open up this new creative toolbox and see what's possible now with image generation. Then we'll get into a really massive shift, how AI is evolving from a simple assistant into a proactive agent. And finally, and this is the important part, we'll connect it all back to your brand strategy and wrap up with the key takeaways you can start thinking about today. Let's jump in. So let's do it. Let's open up this new toolbox. And the tools inside, well, they aren't just slightly better versions of what we had last year. We're talking about things that enable entirely new ways of creating and solve some of the biggest, most annoying pain points that creators and brands have been dealing with for years. And the first place you really see this revolution in action, it's gotta be image generation. And I'm not just talking about tiny improvements here. We are seeing massive leaps in quality, in speed, and in how intelligently these tools seem to just get exactly what it is we want to create. And right away, you can see this really fascinating competition shaping up. On one side, you've got Google's Nano Banana, which is built for speed, fun, and going viral. But on the other side, you have ByteDance's Seedream 4.0, and it is all about professional control. It can use up to 6 of your own images as a reference to lock in a perfectly consistent style. And this really frames the big strategic choice for brands, right? Are you chasing a viral moment? Are you trying to build a timeless, consistent identity? And of course, it's not just a two-horse race. Google's Imagen 4 is tackling a huge pain point for marketers, getting text inside of images to look right, to look perfect. And then there's the open source model HiDreamEye 1, which is all about pure speed. It uses this new method, a sparse diffusion transformer, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's built from the ground up to create amazing images in seconds, finally slashing those annoying wait times. Now, creating better images faster is one thing. That's a big deal. But the next big leap, wow, it's even more profound. We're moving away from tools that just help you do the work to AI that can actually do the work for you. And this is the critical shift from an AI assistant to a true AI agent. So what even is an autonomous digital agent? Well, it's an AI that doesn't just respond to one command at a time. It can actually reason, it can plan out a series of steps, and then execute a complex project from start to finish. You got to think of it more like a project manager, not just a simple calculator. And this workflow shows you exactly what that means in the real world. Just imagine telling an agent like Manus AI, hey, handle our social media for the week. It doesn't ask for a million more instructions. It just goes and does it. It generates the visuals, writes the captions, schedules all the posts, and then simply sends you the finished package for a final one-click approval. I mean, that's not just an improvement, it's a total game changer for how we work. And this kind of intelligence is being woven into the entire creative process, from start to finish. It begins with inspiration, right? Where Microsoft's Copilot turns your browser into a research partner. Then it moves to creation, with Samsung's One UI 8 putting desktop-level power right in your pocket. And then finally, it ends with trust. Crucial tools like Fast.ai are popping up to verify content and spot deepfakes, protecting both you and your audience. Okay, so we've looked at a ton of new tech, a lot of buzzwords, a lot of new names. But let's get down to it. What does all this stuff actually mean? How do these shiny new tools really impact your brand strategy? Let's connect the dots. This chart lays it out perfectly. Look at the pattern here. Each new technological trend is a direct solution to a major business problem. The need for consistent visuals, solved by tools like Seedream. The huge bottleneck of content creation, that's getting automated by agents like Manus AI. The growing fear of deepfakes and mistrust, addressed by authenticity tools like Vastav. You see, this isn't just new tech for tech's sake. It's a whole new set of solutions to timeless branding challenges. So that was a lot to take in, I know.
If you're going to walk away with just 3 big ideas from all this, please make it these.
Let's put a bow on it. First, that whole headache of weird off-brand AI images, it's over. Brand consistency is basically a solved problem now. Second, and this is the biggest mindset shift, stop seeing AI as just a tool you operate and start seeing it as an intern you can delegate entire projects to. And finally, remember that AI is no longer a destination you have to go to. It's becoming this invisible, intelligent layer inside the tools you already use every single day. Look, the technology is no longer some distant promise for the future. It's a real toolbox sitting right here in front of you. Perfect consistency, automated workflows, guaranteed trust, all of these things are now within reach. So the real question isn't if you're going to use these tools, it's which new power will you give your brand first?